Moderna has submitted booster data to the FDA. Johnson & Johnson is still gathering data on boosters. And Dr. Anthony Fauci says he expects authorization will not take long for boosters for other vaccines and says data on whether or not Americans can mix and match vaccines as booster shots, that information will also be available soon. And the CDC is also calling on health departments and healthcare professionals to educate pregnant women about the safety and effectiveness of the vaccines, as we've been talking about. Well, joining me right now to discuss more about this is Dr. Joya Crear Perry, the president of the National Birth Equity Collective. Thank you so much for joining us, doctor. Tell us first, do you see a lot of your patients who are concerned about the vaccine?
And we know for sure that people are concerned not only about the vaccine, but about the consequences to their babies, to their families, to their fertility. So it's our job as providers, as physicians, as healthcare providers to reassure them that the vaccine is safe and actually is much safer than becoming ill and sick from actually receiving the COVID, having the COVID virus. So we want to be sure that patients,
So, doctor, why do you think that there is more concern among pregnant women?
Historically, we have not given a lot of medications to pregnant women. Patients are worried about taking aspirin and taking different medications when they're pregnant. And so we have a lot to overcome in ensuring that patients feel safe when it comes to the vaccine because we've talked to them about the importance of you're carrying a baby. And so, and also in the beginning of this pandemic, we didn't focus on pregnancy. We didn't focus on people who were pregnant. We were focusing, as you may recall, on the elderly or on frontline workers. So it's also confusing to pregnant people that now we're saying, oh, by the way, a year and a half later, we want you to get the vaccine. So it's our job to really assure them that it's not that we change something new has happened to the science. Pregnant people are getting sick. They're in the ICU and their babies are coming early. So we really need them to become vaccinated safe.
Yeah, do you think the CDC guidance for pregnant women, do you think it's been clear enough throughout the pandemic? I mean, you've talked about the fact that, there hasn't been that
Yeah.
clarity. What could they have done differently?
Well, in the beginning, because the vaccine was under emergency approval and not full FDA approval, a lot of times because we worry so much with moms and pregnant people, you could see the messaging around pregnancy, we kind of delayed saying that you should get it. We didn't originally encourage it. So it took us a while to get here. And so I do think that that helped to add some of the confusion that people have today. And so I hope that we see that now that people are becoming ill, that we can work harder to get the messaging to not just the patients, though. I have colleagues who are fellow OBGYNs who are telling patients not to get the vaccine, who are telling patients that they shouldn't get it. And it's also our job to make sure our providers are given the right information. So what I love about the CDC statement is that they're talking to providers and health professionals saying, hey, you guys, you need to do a better job of informing the public about the importance of getting the vaccine, not just blaming and shaming and focusing on what patients know, but what do the providers know and what are we saying to our patients?
Doctor, I want you to listen to some of the words from the CDC director about the efficacy of the vaccine, and then I'm going to have you respond to that. Let's listen.
We now have data that demonstrates that vaccines in whatever time in pregnancy or lactating that they're given are actually safe and effective and have no adverse events to mom or to baby. And we've actually seen that, in fact, some antibody from the vaccine traverses to the baby and, in fact, could potentially protect the baby.
Okay, so there you go. That was CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky. She's been very vocal about the findings and what she feels that people need to be doing. What do you think of her words?
They're important. I mean, I think I was a part of the study out of UCSF where we had a large trial looking at pregnancy and impact of COVID. And what we know is that we did not in the beginning have a lot of data around the impact of the vaccine. And so what she's telling us is now we do. We have data that shows that not only is the vaccine helpful and keeps you alive and out of the ICU and it doesn't cause harm, but the antibodies from the vaccine that you make naturally when you're vaccinated as a mommy help protect your baby. They're passed through to the baby. So the baby is actually protected by you being vaccinated, not harmed by you being vaccinated. So what we haven't done a good job of is ensuring that people trust our CDC and trust our governmental officials. And we're hopeful that we can have individuals like other Black physicians or physicians that people know to talk to the community so they can see we all believe and we all know that the data shows that the vaccines are safe. I have it. Everybody in my family has it. As soon as my son, as one comes that 10-year-olds can take it, I'm signing him up for it too. So I'm hopeful that her words will help assuage some of the fears that people have that the vaccine is safe. And we now have data that shows in pregnant people that it does not harm them or their babies.
So if you had to tell people how to debunk a myth, because there's so many different theories that people have come up with, what would you tell people? What myth have you been hearing the most, and what do you want people to know? How do you want to correct some of that misinformation? What would you tell people?
Especially for birthing people, for pregnant people, the myth that the vaccine is harmful is not true. The fact is, having COVID is harmful. We have lots of data now that shows that pregnant people are filled in ICUs, that their babies are coming too early, they're too small, and some of them are not surviving because they are contracting COVID. And so the vaccine is protective, it's safe. We need you to take it so that you can be safe and that your baby can be safe. And the harm of not taking it is actually greater than the good that you will receive from taking the vaccine.
Dr. Joya Crear Perry, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for everything you're doing as a healthcare provider during this pandemic. We appreciate you being with us. Take care. And when BNC returns, we've been talking about unborn babies. What happens to children who are now orphaned?